Alright, good afternoon to you. Welcome back to Shaving with Fuzzy. I'm Fuzzy. Hi y'all. So it's Sunday afternoon, and there's two, not one, two storms coming this way. And neither one of them look like they're going to be very big. It's going to be a lot of rain, and I think that's what mostly worries folks around here is the rain. One of them is going to come in maybe as a baby hurricane. Baby hurricanes don't really bother people down here too much. You have to recall I am a transplant, but still I've been down here long enough. Baby hurricanes no big deal. But at the plant I'm part of the storm team. So I will probably be sheltering in place for the next day or so for this storm, and then later on in the week for the next storm, which is a complete pain in the tail. Because you're going to have to go for one, and then we're going to limp along and go for the other. And anyway, I'm really good at living out of a bag and having my cot and my sleeping bag and a little food that I can keep along with me, and a cooler with some drinks, and I can get along great. And no showers around, no problem. I keep stuff like, I've showed this before, the body wash that's rinseless, and then the shampoo and stuff that's rinseless, and I've got my shave gear already packed, so Fuzzy will be fine. But anyway, we're going to see how it goes. And now I got to go in early tonight. I wasn't supposed to work till in the morning. So I was supposed to go in sometime tonight if we were going to shelter. And but now I got to go in because one of the other people on the storm team apparently wasn't watching the weather, and they're not ready to go till later. So they're saying their prep is going to take them till later in the night. I've been doing my prep and getting things ready. So anyway, no big deal. It's a friend of mine. More than happy to help him out. I really am. I'm not whining about that. But it just means I got to go in a little while. So I'm gonna go ahead and shave. Now the other day, in one of the comments to one of the other videos, one of the guys, Brian, asked me. He says, "I've got some razors I'd like to send you." So I said, yeah, that's great. I like getting razors. So I get this box, and it's absolutely wonderful. Now I'm not going to go all into what was in the box because this particular shave is going to. I want to post it at Toast. And we're not going to mention the unmentionables, but most of the box was two-sided thingies, and some really fun-looking two-sided thingies at that. Trust me on this one; it's going to be fun. But one of the things they sent was this, and this is what we're going to use today. This is called the Challenger, and I understand they're making them, selling them in India, and they're dirt cheap. They use a head system up here like the Gillette Click, and it's actually better because it actually has a hinge. The Gillette Click just has that tab, I guess. But this has actually got a hinge, which means it may last a little longer. And it clicks. Now, this Challenger, someone brought it up a while back over when I was still at the shave den before I ghosted out of that place. And at the time, I was beating pretty hard on the Focus, dynamic Focus, little plastic looking, I know it's not plastic, but and this is, by the way, little plastic looking doodad, I called it, that people were raving about, that all you have to do is learn how to use it, and it gives such great shade. It's even better than the vintage shades, but all you got to do is learn how to. Why do you have to learn how to use a different system? So, oh, I can use a regular razor, but this does so much better once you learn to use it. And it's like, so you're covering up the fact that you don't have adequate skills by using a razor that's been designed for people that don't know how to, I've never have liked that in anything. I never have liked that. You don't have the skills to do something, so they go and invent something similar to do it pretty well for you. And anyway, and the guy that was talking about it I didn't like anyway. I still don't like you, by the way. If you're watching my videos, I don't like you. So anyway, I brought this one up, and I said, well, it might make a good travel razor, this and that and the other. And then that guy started making fun because, it's just like the Focus Dynamic, it pivots and it does all this. Now, so I kind of dropped the idea anyway. I kind of thought maybe he was right for a minute, but looking at it, I'm not so sure. It does move. The head does move, but it's more like a wiggle than a pivot. They've got it put in there, and it just comes across, and it does give you some play in there. I'm not sure you can see there. It does have some play, wiggle more than pivot, but still it does move. I'll admit that. I'll concede that fact. One thing I think is really neat about this, though, they are making them fairly cheap, which means people should be able to buy them, although I understand there's a lot of poor people, yada, yada, yada. Okay, I get it. I do. Making it a shade razor means the blades are a little bit easier to get. It's a whole lot easier to find you know, a blade to break in half for a SHaDE razor. SHaDE is single half a D, by the way, for, you know, folks that didn't catch on to that. You know, I'm not going to make fun of you if you didn't catch on to that, but if you didn't, that's what SHaDE razor is, single half a dough edge. So anyway, we're going to give it a whirl, and I really appreciate the chance to try it. I really do. I wouldn't buy one on my own. And I think I even may have talked bad about the things a little bit. It's possible somebody offered me a chance to try one, and I said, you know, there really ain't no need to bother sending that thing. But now that I actually got one in my hand, it may be a little bit fun. So I've got these are Derby already broke braids. I got a whole box that came with something else I bought. I think something I got off eBay maybe. I don't remember things. Y'all know that. But anyway, they're already little half blades, and it's a Derby blade. And it looks like, oh yeah, it's going to be really simple to load. It just sits in. It's got little tabs at the edge. You put it on to sit in, and we're going to close that. That is honestly the first time I put a blade in here, and it looks perfect the first try. Now it looks like, just looking at it, it's got a fair amount of opening there around the blade. I don't know if I can get it where you can actually see it good. I don't think I can. What you're seeing there, I think, is over the blade. But anyway, just trust me on this one. There is a, no, that's under the blade. I'm showing you the right thing. The blade is running along there, and then you can see there that that's got a good bit of blade look to it. That can be fun. I like that. I like a razor that's got some blade feel to it. Aggression, a lot of people call it. Now I understand before everybody starts preaching to Fuzzy about aggression, save your breath. I understand aggression means many things. It can have to do with blade gap. It can have to do with angle. It can have to do with this. It can have to do with that. If it's got a lot of blade feel, you can feel it running across your face, and you get that, ooh boy, that's aggression, and I like it. That being said, razor's a razor, blade's a blade. Even a razor without that aggression to shave is just fine. That's what's called technique. And that's what folks who need, you know, things invented to make life easier for them don't have. Technique. That's like a knife sharpener that's got the blade guide on it for people that can't hold an angle on the blade and sharpen it. If this is you and you feel a little good. I used to have a buddy that swore by one he had, and had the rod that went up and you adjusted the angle and you clamped the blade in there, and he's sitting there clamping everything together, and I'm sitting there, okay, let's go skin whatever. I got it. And then they want to over sharpen them so that they're like a razor sharp. Your skinning knives, this is a secret that you may not know. Your skinning knives do not need to be razor sharp. Work a edge into it. Put an edge on it. Don't got to be razor sharp. All this stuff, you take it and you shave hair with them. That looks really good in the movies, and it's great for people that don't know Jack. I know Jack. Had supper with him the other day. Work a good edge in. That's what you need. If you work a razor edge into a skinning knife, it's going to dull quicker. You can whine all you want to about one. That's the way it is. All right. It's also the way it is. I didn't put the stopper in the sink good enough, and it's losing some water. So anyhow. So for soap today, I just randomly reached over and grabbed one, to be honest. I got so much soap. It can take me longer to decide on which soap to use sometimes than it does to do a cotton pick and shave. Pathetic, but that's the way it is. So what we got today is this here Australian soap that was sent me by Mr. Grassy from Australia. And it's a wash pool wet shaving soap book. And again, I have to read this every time because I never remember. But it's bergamot, patchouli, and cedarwood. I don't know. It smells good. It's got a nice earthy outdoorsy scent to it that I really like, and had some really good lathers with this thing. And to finish up, I'm going to use some Cooling Blue Skin Bracer. I've decided I'm not going to try to particularly save aftershaves and stuff. I'm going to use them as I go, and when they run out, I'm going to throw the empty away, and I'm going to be done with it. If I can't replace them anymore, I can't replace them anymore. That's just the way it is. Look at this. I've already talked almost 10 minutes, and we ain't got a cotton picking thing done on a shave. That's okay. So, in my defense, on that Focus Dynamic plastic looking garbage crappy thingy, Jill didn't like it either. She thought the same thing. So I was in good company not liking that thing. Alrighty then. Yes, you'll hear me mention good old Jill. You know, I don't comment a lot on other people's videos, but a lot of times I'll just go in and watch a video and be happy with it. Don't feel the need to say anything. Fuzzy really don't like people. But you know, I did watch some of her videos, and you'll hear me mention her every once in a while, I'm sure, along the ways. But anyway, all right, we're going to work us up a lather here with this here wash pool soap. And I went and looked their website up. They make a lot of stuff, skincare stuff, and you know, your normal artisan. I always wanted to say artesian, which really tickled Jill. She said she used to listen to me try to say artisan. That woman, I'll tell you. But anyway, so they got their skincare stuff, and I don't know. I guess there's parts of Australia where you really need your skincare stuff, right? Any of y'all there, if anybody wants to buy me a ticket to come see the Outback, you know, go to one of the deserts, maybe the Big Sandy or one of the deserts. I was looking at one the other day. I was wiki hopping and ended up over there somehow looking at one of the deserts, and I got to thinking, yeah, I'd like to go see that. So if you know, you want to fly fuzzy over sometime, buy me some Australian coffee and go out and see the Outback. Yeah, I'm up for it. Once they get to where we can fly around and I don't have to quarantine 2 weeks when I come home before I go back to work, because I can't afford that. I can afford it, but the bill collectors say no, no you can't. Whatever. Bills don't stop. I told them the other day at work, they were talking about, oh, you're just having so much fun. And I said, no. Fuzzy does not do this for fun. I do not do it for free. You stop the check, that's all for me. That's kind of the way it is. All right, the Challenger. Oops, took a breath at the wrong time. Hold on. Hey, boss, that's not a Corona cough. I don't have the kung flu. I just took a breath at the wrong time drinking coffee. Don't get all worked up. Woo, you talk about seeing a woman get in hyper when somebody starts something like that. All right, here we go. So we're going to use our regular shave. Every time we get a new razor, I'm terrible at reviewing razors because the razor, blade. I do the same thing just about all of them. Now this one is going to be a lot like shaving with cart garbage. I will capitulate to that. Did I use that word right? I don't know. Anyway, that's the word I'm using and that's how I'm using it. So anyway, that's I will. But let's see what we got. So this is a Derby blade in a Challenger. Very first time I ever used one. That was the first time to load one, and it loaded great. It's, of course, since it's plastic, extremely lightweight. It shaves. There's nothing special about it. I don't know if the blade is pivoting or not. Of course, I could take a super glue and just glue it in place, and I wouldn't have to worry about it pivoting, right? But fuzzy, that's not how it's designed to work. That's okay. Alright, well, so far, nice and easy. The Derby blades, I hear people talk bad about Derby blades, but shaves fine. Got a good feel to it. If you like a longer handle, we've had this handle length discussion, but if you like a longer handle, there it is. Now, unlike a cartridge that I put pressure on, or I think you have to put pressure on to use, this one isn't forcing me to use a lot of pressure to get it to do the job. Not having any problem finding an angle where I can feel it cutting. It's, you know, surprisingly enough, it's shaving. A razor that's not defective, a blade that's sharp, shaves. Isn't that the most amazing thing? I did not have to bloom my soap. I am not going to have to flip blades. I'm not going to have to sacrifice live votes to the shave goddess. I say votes, I meant goats. To the shave goddess to get a shave out of it. Miraculously enough, I simply have to shave. Speaking of goats, heard something really neat the other day. One of the guys that works out at the plant, one of the contractor supervisors, seems to be a really good guy. I like to stop and talk to him. He had goat feed and bedding and stuff in the back of his truck the other day when he was leaving the plant. I said, oh, it's time for a bedding change. He said, yeah. I said, we went to bed the other day with 5 goats. Woke up with 9 goats. He had one of his lady goats, had 4 kids. He said that is extremely unusual. He said, you know, sometimes you get 3, normally you get 2, almost never do you get 4, but she had dropped 4. So I haven't had a chance to talk to him to see how they're doing. maybe Monday if he comes in, if the weather's not too bad. But I never raised animals like that. We raised you know, t-shirts and socks back home, cotton farm. But I never really raised animals. But I've been around some folks that did, and I've always thought it was real neat. My sister and my brother, you know, I've already said before that they're doing. I think Marvin had a bunch of quail. Maybe he had some more quail hatched out. Maybe Miss Press was talking about the first ones he had hatched out. But anyway, he had a good hatch out in his first, you know, attempt at incubating eggs and getting some little ones. I haven't asked him when we're having fried quail, but anyway, I know he's been getting some quail eggs. He says you have to boil a few of those to have enough for breakfast. But anyway, I like quail eggs. That same gentleman that has the goats gave me some duck eggs one time. And I'm a fan of duck eggs. Use them like chicken eggs. Make omelets or scrambled eggs, and man, oh man, they're good. Well, they like chicken eggs a lot, but they're richer. And as far as the flavor goes, I don't think they have the same flavor, but it's hard to describe the flavor. So I've had to buy some more witch hazel. I ran out again. And this time the store brand was Dickerson's. So I'm now using Dickerson's witch hazel. That's what the store had, and I just, you know, I buy what they have. And it's a good witch hazel. And it's not like Thayer's where it's 100%. The Dickerson is still the traditional preparation where it has the alcohol in it. Now the first thing people say about this here witch hazel is, yeah, it smells like a damp basement when you put it on. I don't like that. I think I'm going to pay the extra money and get the Thayer's that has the scent to it. Scent has nothing to do with performance. And I don't worry about the scent. It's not going to be there that long. I'm already done with what it's going to do. I'm fixing to wash my face and it's gone, and I'm going to put aftershave on. So, you know, whatever on the scent. I also don't think it's worth the extra money to get the Thayer's to have all of it. The preparation, I think the normal preparation is like, what, 14% alcohol? And, you know, it does a good job. It makes my face feel good. It does a good job. And there we go. So, here's my thoughts on this here SHaDE razor, the Challenger. SHaDE's great. Easy to use. You don't change technique. And you don't have to put pressure like you do a regular cart. I guess it's because it's got that single blade and it's got some good gap to it. You know, it didn't feel overly aggressive, but it is definitely efficient. That's a really nice shave. That shaves on par with any shave I get. And fuzzy, like you know, I don't shoot for BBS. BBS is a myth. You can get it, give it a couple hours, I'm back to sandpaper. I don't mess with it. A top grade DFS is what I shoot for, and that's what I get 99.9% of the time. And this is one of those times. My face feels good. It also makes me feel good that it's a lesser expensive razor using half of an unmentionable blade. There ain't nothing wrong with that at all. So again, thank you, Brian. We're going to get around to a video to what was left in that X was in that box, and some videos using the two-sided thingies in that box. Cause there's one in there that's highly intriguing that I have read about that we're going to give a go and see how it goes. So if you get a chance, if you like ordering the artisan soaps and you want to take the time to get something shift from down under, try out this wash pool soaps. They make your skin feel good, although obviously you can tell we don't moisturize this or anything, but they do have some good skin feel. They're good and slick, they lather easy, they have good scents, they're not overpowering, but it's good scents. And you know, I like it. Is it as good as Sterling soaps? Sure. I mean, Sterling soaps are nice, but they're not like, you know, it's not like finding the golden egg and the goose pin. But anyway, there you go. That's going to do it for today. So I got to finish. I got everything ready. I got my bag packed. I got my cotton dug out, my sleeping bag, blankets, everything that I usually keep with me when I go on gigs like this. And I just got to load it all into the truck. And I picked up some sandwich stuff. It's just going to be a couple of days, even if it's that long. It may just be pretty much we're going to stay there tonight, and then I'll work my regular shift tomorrow, and I'll come home. Could very well be. But anyway, I got some bowl noodle stuff because I really love those noodles. Yes, they're high in salt. You got to die for something. Blood pressure is as good as anything. And I picked up some sandwich stuff, and I got all this. So I've got all that already in the truck. So it's not going to take me too long to finish packing it up and getting ready to go. I made sure I had plenty of French Market coffee. I got the regular dark roast and the dark roast with chicory. That way I can share some of the dark roast because not everybody likes that chicory. And it's been a long time since I hit the 20-minute mark on a video. So y'all, excuse me. You know, hopefully you got bored with all that chatter at the front and screwed it up to the shave. If not, you just listen to an old guy blather on for 20 minutes. And that's pretty wild, ain't it? All right, y'all have a good day. Whoever you are, whatever you're doing. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Watch out for the storms if you're down in this part of the world. Down in Florida. If you're in Cuba, you should already be ducking and covering. You know, Dominican Republic, y'all stay safe down there because that's where my favorite cigars come from. So y'all, you know, take care of things and stay safe as that storm comes up through there. And we'll see y'all hopefully